Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, in our last video we showed you a simple menu invert bit of code there. Today we're going to show you how to build a simple custom footer. So this is what you get as standard. We're going to change that to something that looks like this. This is a very simple version, but I'm going to show you how to build this custom footer. And it's really simple, and there's some great design options there. So let's get started. To do this today, I want to go down to our dashboard. We're going to go down to Divi. Once we're there, going to go over to Theme Builder. And this comes as standard with the Divi theme. Once you click on it, it's going to take us to this page. And we want to add a footer today. We've done videos on headers and bodies, but we want a footer today. So I'm going to click on Add Global Footer. Build global footer. Okay, and it gives us a blank page here with a builder, just like our front end builder. So you can build anything you want. You can really go to town. I'm going to keep mine very simple today just to demonstrate some of the features you've got with this. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to add a row. For my purposes today, I'm just going to use this row right here, with a short one either side, a long one in the middle. I'm going to put a logo on the left. I'm going to put a menu in the middle. And I'm going to put a little Contact Us button on the right. First thing, this is going to pop up and prompt us to put in a module. You can use any modules you want for this. I'm going to use a little image module right there for my logo. And as I'm going to have a sort of colored or dark background, I'm going to add a light looking logo. I've got a light one just there. Okay. And there it is right there. I'm going to leave that. Right in the middle, some people might be asking why I'm just not using a menu module and using my logo. It's because I want to center align this when it's full width, and I'll show you how to do that in just one moment. In the middle one, I'm going to add a menu module. There we go. Now select your menu from here. You must have these saved already as menus in your site, which I'm sure you have if you've built down to the footer already. But for anybody that doesn't know, let's go to our dashboard here. Go down to Appearance and then Menus. And this is common to most WordPress themes. This is where you build your menu, select your pages, add them, and save your menu here. Give your menu a name. So I've got several, and this one's called Top. I'm going to be using that one for this today. So let's go back. And there it is, Top. And there's a couple of different menus I've got there. But Top's going to work for me. Home, About, Services, Custom, Contact. And down below you can actually add a logo to this. I've already added mine separately, but it's a feature you've got with this menu module. I'm positioning my actual logo separately, so I'm not using this one today. Down below there we've got elements. And if you've got WooCommerce installed, you can show a shopping cart icon. And you can also show a search icon. I haven't got WooCommerce installed in this, but if you wanted to, you could put a search icon on the end there. I'm going to leave that out today. Don't need any link. It's a menu item. It does its own thing. Okay, we'll come back to background in a minute. I'm just going to leave this one as it is. And over on the right hand side here, I'm just going to simply add a button. Here's our button module. And obviously put what you want your button to say right here. Where you want to take your button in the link field down below. Obviously, Contact Us, we want to take them to our Contact Us page. And I want it to open in the same window because we're linking to our own site. If you were linking off-site with this button, open it in a new tab. That way your site will always stay open. Okay, well I'm going to come back to this one as well. Let's just save that. Now we've got 3 little items in our footer so far. I want to spread these out across the whole of the bottom there. To do that, I need to make this row full width. So I'm going to click in the middle of the field here. I'm going to go into the row, which is the green tab. To make it full width, we need to go to our design, down to sizing, and if we look down here, we've got width. I'm going to slide that up to 100%. Then I'm simply going to copy it, Control C, and paste it down below in the max width, Control V, or you can type it in if you prefer. As you can see, we've now got a row that stretches the whole of the width of our screen. Great. Okay, before we start decorating all these things, let's actually do something with the background and then decide what colours and things we want to make our buttons and menus to stand out. So to do this, I'm going to go into the section. Again, I'm just going to click on the field anyway. Blue tab for a section. I'm going to go in. Let's bring this up here. I'm going to go down to background, and we've got all kinds of options for editing the background here. We've got colors, gradients, image, video if you want to, background pattern and background mask. I'll use several of these today just to demo what you can do. So you can put a background color in if you want to. I'm going to use a gradient. Now Divi's just upped its gradients here, so you can do an awful lot with them now. So let's add one. And by default it comes in as blue and green there. If we roll down, there it is. And you can add as many stops as you want now. Divi's just upgraded this. So I'm going to start off with a dark purple at the top, I think. Let's put purple in there and click on the purple. I'm going to drag this down so it's nice and dark, almost black, but still got a little bit of purple there. Great. Then at the bottom, I'm actually going to put a full black in there. There we go. And I'm going to add another one in the middle, and let's put a purple in there perhaps. Like I say, to add one, just simply left click, it'll add it for you. Click on the little dot to add the colour that you want. That's great. We put that purple in the middle. Now that we've put that in the middle, we can see that our menu there has got a background colour on it because we can't see through it. So we can take that away in a minute. But gradient wise, that's going to work for me. And of course you could have added a colour if you wanted to instead of a gradient, but what I'm going to do is I'm also going to add an image behind here, and we'll blend the two. If we go over one more, we can go to background image right there. Let's add a background image. And put in whatever you want to put in there. It really doesn't matter because we're going to blend it with that colour. I'm going to put that sort of burning log in there. And you're probably thinking, well, great, but what was the point of putting the gradient in? Well, if we roll down just a little bit here, we've got the option to use background image blend. Now this won't work if you're using the parallax effect, so the parallax is on off or no right there. We'll go in here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply mine with the background, and you'll see the gradient and the image sort of multiply together. There it is. And that's a nice little effect. And they've got some wonderful effects. They really have. If you go on down, have a look through some of these. Hue, saturation, exclusion. They give you some amazing effects. But for me today, I'm actually going to use overlay, which for me sort of adds slightly different colour to it and adds an interest to it. I quite like that with my ember. Great. Well, that works for me with the image and the blend right there. You can even go one step further if you want to and add a pattern to it. And again, they've just added these features, background pattern here. Just click the little plus sign again. Decide what you want. Just click on it. And here we are, we've got polka dots and triangles and all kinds of different things here. I'm going to use that little honeycomb thing. I'm going to make mine white so you'll actually be able to see it a little bit better. There we go, and that's really overkill right there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go down. I'm going to make it the size that I want it. You can change the way round it is. Whether it goes from up to down, down to up, you can rotate. You can actually flip it so the background colour is white and the foreground or our little mesh is that colour. I'm happy with it to be like that, but I want to make it a lot smaller. So let's go down. I'm going to go to custom size. I'm going to start playing with this slider. And I want mine looking a little bit like maybe a snake skin or something like that. Something like that. I'm going to even increment up just a little bit slightly. It's entirely up to you. But that's too much over the top. So again, I'm going to click on my little colour here. A little variegated slider to the right is opacity or transparency or see-throughness. I'm going to take this down so it's subtly in the background so we can see our image, the gradient overlay, and just a little bit of that mesh. Something like that. I don't know if you can see that. It kind of gives it a little sort of snake skin type effect. Great, well that works for me with the background, and that sort of demos lots of different features you can use to build interesting backgrounds there. So let's save this one. My menu's too deep, my logo is too wide, the actual menu's still got a background color to it, and I want to pop it in the middle, and I want to decorate my button. So let's make this the actual size we want it. I'm going to go back up into my section again, blue tab. I'm going to go to design. I'm going to take any padding away from top and bottom. To do that, go down to spacing. I'm going to put a 0 in. It'll put the pix in for you. Hit the chain, it'll do the opposite side. Okay, that's getting there. That's about the width or the depth that I want it. I could even have it a little smaller. I think once I shrink my logo, that's going to happen. So let's organize this. So I'm going to save my section settings. I'm going to go back into my logo here. Dark tab for the module. It's there, I can just get to it. If you ever have a problem and you can't sort of get to things because they're underneath something else once you've positioned them, hit the little purple button down the bottom and you can go to what they call wireframe mode or back end mode. That way it'll give you the sort of black back end version and you can easily get to stuff. I wanted my image there, which is great. Let's go back to desktop mode so we can see what's going on. Okay, this image is too large. Let's go to our design. I'm going to go to sizing. And width wise, let's make it maybe 250 wide. That's pixels. It's actually put in percent there. I want pixels, not percentage. So I'm going to backspace and put in px on the end for pixels. There we go. That's more the size I want. And I kind of want it in the middle of the row that it's sitting in. So we've got module alignment just down below. I'm going to hit that. Perfect. That way when we go down to a mobile device, that'll be in the middle at the top, the menu will be underneath, and the button will be at the bottom. So I'm happy with that. Now we want this to link always to our home page. So if we go back to content here, just under image, you've got a link. So you want to put your URL, your domain URL in there, which mine would be localhost D22. So I'm going to copy that, Control C, and I'm going to pop it in there. There we go. And we want it in the same window, obviously. So every time they click on that, it's going to take them to the home page. Fantastic. Well, let's move on to our menu now. And again, we'll just roll over it, left click, go into the module, the little cog right here. First thing I want to do is get rid of that background so we don't see any background there. We can see our footer bar. So to do that, we're in content, we can go down to background. And as you can see, there's something in there. Just hit the little trash can. It's gone. And our writing's kind of disappeared. It's actually there because it's dark writing. We can hardly see it though. So let's go to our design now. Here's the menu text right here. Active link color. I'm going to make that white. And the actual text color I'm going to make white, which should come back now. There it is. I'm going to make that uppercase. Because it's uppercase and on a darker background, I'm actually going to give it a bit of text shadow, which I normally wouldn't do with small text like that. And if we roll down a little bit more, here's our text alignment. I'm going to pop it in the middle. Great. Now I thought it'd be nice that perhaps when you hover over one of these, it changes color. It's sort of changing opacity when we do it there, but we can have it change color also. And this is common to most Divi modules. If you roll over the dark writing here, you'll see some little icons appear. We want to go to the thing we want to affect, which is our text color in this case. Menu text color, roll over, there's our little icons. Hit the little arrow. It'll let us set a desktop state when the mouse is not on it, and a hover state when the mouse is on it. So when we're hovering on it, let's perhaps make it orange. And I'm going to make it a little bit brighter, oranger than that. So let's grab that thing, all the way up to the top so it's nice bright orange. There we go. Great. So when we're not hovering, they're white like that. When we are hovering, they're going to be orange. Fantastic. Well, with footers, it's always a good idea to put a little copyright, something like that, underneath there. So let's do that quickly. Really easy to do. I'll show you a quick, what they call alt code for the copyright symbol. So I'm going to click on our little module here. I'm going to hit the little dark plus sign or the light plus sign on the dark field to add a new module. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom now, and I'm just going to simply grab a text module. And this is a regular text field. You can add text, headings, you can align things, bold, italicize, bullet points, make headings, things like that. You can even add media if you want to, but I'm going to have a simple copyright statement here. So the first thing I want is a copyright symbol, and that is what you call an alt code, is what I'm using today. So hold down the alt key on your keyboard and then type 0169 and you'll see the copyright symbol pop up like that. So we want copyright system 22 or whatever your copyright is, and let's pop a pipe in there, which is the straight up and down line, and we'll say all rights reserved, or whatever you want to say. Let's put a little gap in between there, and you can see it up there. It's not very prominent, so let's go to our design. We'll go to our text. I'm simply going to make this white in color. Obviously you make yours whatever color you want, and we're going to want to put it in the middle. So let's align it, text alignment to the middle there. Now it's made our little footer a little deeper, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull it up using a bit of negative margin until our footer's the size we want, and these two are a reasonable size apart. So still on the design tab, I'm going to go down to spacing and margin. I'm simply going to hit the down arrow to give it some negative margin, and as you can see, as I'm hitting that, it's pulling it up. And to speed it up, let's maybe give it 25 or something and see what happens there. Minus 25. It's getting there, not quite. Let's give it perhaps negative 30. Yeah, that works for me. And of course you can fine tune with your little arrows if you want it up or down some more. I think that's going to work fine. Great. So we've got our logo that links to the home page. We've got our menu that links to the menu pages. And we've got a little copyright right there. Okay, well, let's finish off by doing this button. Like I say, this is a very, very simplified version. You can do lists and text and put in as many modules as you want. Make this a mega menu if you want to for a footer. I'm keeping it simple just to show you some of the features. So let's go into our button now, and we'll finish off by decorating this one. Okay, contact us is fine. We put the link into our contact page. Go to design, align it. We want it to be in the middle. That way on a mobile phone it'll be in the middle. Let's go down to our button next. I want to use custom style, so once in button I'm going to click the little switch to use custom styles. Text size is fine. I want to make it white in color. I think I'm going to take that border away in a minute. I'm going to give this a background. Let's make it purple. We were using that just now. Perhaps when we hover on it, we can make it blue. So again, we'll hit that little arrow for the hover state. We'll have it blue. That'll work fine. Okay, going back to regular state. I don't want any border over there, so I'm going to take the border width away. That's great. If I move this up here, you can see what's going on a little bit better. So we've got a purple button there. It's going to turn blue when we hover on it. I don't want that little icon to appear. If we roll down a little bit, you can choose to show button icon there if you want to. I'm going to switch that to off. Now Divi's just partnered with Font Awesome, so if you do want to add an icon, there's plenty to choose from. Divi also has an absolutely mad amount of fonts. It's got a crazy amount of fonts. I've been using Divi for years, must be 5-6 years probably. I've not gone through them all. To audition one, simply roll over it and it'll give you an example. I'm going to leave mine on the default today. Okay, I'm going to make that uppercase or capitals if you like. Don't want to show the icon. I'm going to give it a bit of text shadow again, just purely because it's on that field. To me, that just makes it stand out a bit more. That's good. Let's go down. I'll give it a bit of box shadow because that might help it stand out a little bit more on the footer also. Let's perhaps use that one. Yeah, that's fine. Now I need to just push it down a little bit because it's slightly high on there. So still in our design tab, we can go down to our spacing. Or obviously actually up to the spacing. There we are, just above. And let's add some padding on the top. Let's try 30. In fact, no, we won't use padding because if I add 30 to the top, what it's going to do, it'll make that button fatter. It won't actually put it down, so I'll show you. See, it's added 30 to the interior of that. So we want to use margin for this. Let's delete that and try 30 on the top. Way too much. 20. That's good. Well, let's use our little increment to take it exactly where we want it. Somewhere like that works for me. Perfect. So there we go. We've got our little header. We've got our logo. It takes us back to the home page, menu, links to the pages, copyright. And now we've got a little call to action button that'll take us to the contact page. Let's see what it's going to look like on tablet and mobile. If we go down to our bottom left corner here, we're looking at desktop at the moment. Let's look at it on tablet. It's okay. We want to make sure that that logo stays the right size. Let's have a look on mobile. That's fine as well. The only thing we've got is a problem with our logo size there. So let's go into our little logo right here. I'm going to go to design, sizing. Let's put 250 in the max width also. That way it shouldn't get any bigger than 250. Again, let's put percentage in. Let's make sure we've got pixels on there. Save this. Now let's try that on a little tablet. That's better, a lot better. And we'll take a look on a mobile. Yeah, that's a lot better too. Fantastic. Okay, well we are good to go. So we want to go to the bottom right there, save our changes. Once saved, we can X out. Save the changes here. Now if we visit our site, we'll have our nice new footer on the bottom. And there it is. We've got our logo. If we hover over it, that'll take us to our home page. We've got our little menu with a simple hover effect over there. It'll take us to those pages. Little copyright statement and a contact us button that changes color on hover there. It'll take us to the contact page. Just to check it's going to be on every page, which it should be. It should appear on every page. That's fine. It's there, a very short page there. There it is, and let's make sure our logo is going to take us back to the home page. There we go. So there you go, guys. There's how to add a little custom footer to your Divi site. Like I say, this has been a very simple example. You can really go to town and get some fantastic footers going with this. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.